Hey everybody, it's Brooke with Re-Fabbed. We're going to make some really cute scrap wood bunnies, wood block bunnies, today that we made at our live event in Nashville, whenever that was, back in March. A lot of people have been inquiring about how to make them, and they are so easy and they are so fun. And I think that you all will really enjoy this, and you can put your own spin on it because there are so many ways that you can do this. And it's just really fun to kind of mess with it and do it different ways. Before I get started, I've got a sinus infection. I know I look rough. I'm kind of embarrassed to even be live like this, but it is what it is, and I know you understand. My hair is a mess. My nose is red as a beet. My eyes are glassy, and I look like Doody Squat, but it is okay. So no comments about the appearance. Let's look at the wood bunnies and make them really, really cute. I want to show you the ones that I made at the event. These are going to be a tiny bit different, not a ton different, but a little bit different. Because I'm doing them as a more farmhouse look and a little more rustic than the ones that I did at the event. But here's the ones from the event. We have two. We have the little small square one, and we have the bigger one, okay? So the ones we're doing today are very similar to these, but they're a little bit different. So these are what they look like. And then on the back, of course, is their tail, which I just realized I don't have my cotton balls out. Imagine that. So you're just going to have to realize that you take a cotton ball and you glue it to the back, because I did not bring my cotton balls out. So anyway, we got our two blocks, and that's just what you start with. This is old scrap wood, okay? There is nothing that has to be perfect about this wood. A block something like this and a block something like this, okay? We're not worried about it. But I like having one that's bigger and one that is smaller, just so that it's a little set, because two is always cute. We've got these two wood blocks. Just any old wood block will do, and we're going to paint them white. So we just got some craft paint, just some old apple barrel gloss, white paint. Nothing special. Use any kind you have, and you are not worrying too much about getting these perfect, okay? You're just slapping on the paint. It is totally good if you can still see some of the wood through it. We are going to move through this really quickly. I think nobody got time to sit and watch me all day. I understand that. So it's okay if it doesn't even cover all the way, okay? You're just kind of doing the sides and the top and bottom. You don't the top and the sides and the back. You do not have to do the bottom. As you can see, I am not worrying too much about if it's covered, because I really, really like it to show through, okay? So here's the sides. I got to do the top. This is just my bigger wood block. You can get these from scrap wood piles or anywhere. I mean, you can find this stuff everywhere. Some of these, this one specifically did come from my house, just the one that we're building. So now I'm painting my little small block, and I'm doing the same exact thing. I'm not trying to make it perfect. I'm just kind of slapping some paint on there. Okay. So let me find a place to lay this. So we're just going to let these dry. It does not take long to dry. I mean, it's just a little bit on there. It doesn't take long to dry, but we're going to set them aside, and we're going to work on the ears. So I use this jumbo roll of wired burlap ribbon, okay? And this may not surprise any of you. In fact, it probably won't, but I don't measure. I just cut like something about like so. I make the bigger bunny, the little taller bunny, I make his ears a little longer because he's bigger, and then I make the smaller bunny's ears just a little bit shorter. So I'm going to try to make sure they're the same, so I'm just going to layer it and cut it. So we're going to use these ears for my bigger bunny, and they're maybe 4 inches. I mean, I don't know. It does not matter, okay? So then for my smaller bunny, I'm going to cut it. I do like using the wire burlap. It does work much easier for this. So here's the difference in the sizes, and then here's the difference in the blocks. It needs to be like that, okay? So all I do on these ears, it's very easy. I take this, and then I simply take my scissors, and I'm right-handed. A lot of you think I'm left-handed. I'm not. It's just a video. So I take my scissors, and I start about this far up the top, and I just curve it around to a point for my ear, like this, okay? And then I go to the other side. Well, actually, I start at the top and kind of curve it down, almost like a cathedral arch, like this. They don't have to be perfect, but they need to look like this, just like a little archway. So we've got 2 ears for my big bunny, okay? Now we're going to go ahead and make the 2 smaller ears. I am not doing pink. Okay, these bunnies have pink ears. You can easily take some pink paint and, you know, put it in there. That's all I did, but we're not doing that on this one. This is going to have more of a farmhouse look to it, so we're not going to do the pink. There's nothing wrong with the pink. I'm just not doing it. So I'm going to cut these ears the same way. So anyway, here's my 2 little ears. So they're smaller for my small. Now, my paint is very close to being dry, but just to make sure it's dry, I'm going to go ahead and cut up my raffia. So we made our 2 ears, we've painted our blocks, now we're going to cut the raffia. I have raffia everywhere at my house, guys. And for anybody who happened to think that I think I made this up, I did not make this craft up. I've seen versions of it all over the place. Every version's different. It's just fun to make it your own. It's not like it's not like you've probably never seen this before, but that's what crafting is changing things up and making it your own, and that's all I'm doing here is using some stuff that, to make it kind of my own spin on it. So no, I didn't create this myself. I just am going with my own ideas for it. Okay. So I want to do bows. Let me show you one more time. Here's the little one. This is the raffia bow. Some raffia, obviously. I'm going to take this and kind of pull it in 2 and make my 2 bows out of this. And all I do when I make a raffia bow is kind of turn the edges up like this, and it's wild. It's wild like this, okay? Now. Okay, so I'm doing like this, and I kind of cut it to make it how I want it. Kind of chop it up. I don't want it perfect, but I kind of want it to look like a bow. So then I scrunch it down in the center like this, okay? I take one of my random pieces of raffia, and then I just tie it around the middle. Literally, that's all I do. Okay. There we go. So then you have a little bow. And like this totally needs to be cut, clearly. Okay. So here we go. We got this bow made. Now we're going to make our other bow, and then we'll go over to this, okay? Okay, so we've made the ears, we've made the raffia bows, and we've painted our, whatever these are, wood blocks. Now, I am going to take my sanding paper, and like you see, I have not been heavy on my paint. I've been very frugal with my paint, not because I'm trying to save it, but I really want the wood to show through, okay? So we're just going to take my sanding block. Anybody can get a sanding block anywhere, or just use a little piece of sanding paper. It does not matter. I got this at Lowe's. You can get them everywhere. And I'm just going to rub it just like this, where you can start seeing it come through. See how it's looking? You can see it through. It's nothing over the top, but it's just a distressed look on all the sides. Now these sides right here, they've got a distressed look anyway, so I'm not even going to mess with those. So let's see what side we want to use. We'll use this side for this one. Okay. So we're going to use these two sides for the front of our bunny. Now, I do a lot of dry brushing, Natalie. I kind of did a dry brush technique on this. That's why there's so much wood already showing through. But then I also really love to just distress it a little more with a sanding block or piece of sanding paper. So, oh my gosh, I'm dropping everything. Okay, so now we're ready to just do all the fun parts of adding the embellishments to the bunnies. Now, where are those pieces that I was going to use? That's the million-dollar question right here now. Okay, I've got these random pieces, okay? They're really cool. And I'm just going to tell you, I don't know where these came from, but I randomly received them, and I'm going to use them. These little pieces like this, okay? You can use a button. That's what I used in the other ones, like buttons like this. Be really cute. These are my little farmhouse bunnies. So you could use bunnies. I'm going to use these fun little embellishment pieces. This is for my big bunny's nose. And then I have a smaller one that looks just like it for my other bunny's nose. So we've got these two pieces. So this is for my big bunny, this is for my little bunny. Okay. So here's what we do. Here's the finished project again. That's going to be a little different from what we're doing. We're going to take our raffia, that's going to be our whiskers, okay? And then we're going to put our nose over the whiskers. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of raffia, and you can use anything for the whiskers. I just am a raffia nut, okay? So I'm just going to take a little grouping of raffia and pull it together like this. And then I am going to, and I'm trying to do this where you can see, and I'm just going to kind of lay it across the block right here, okay? I'm going to take my glue gun. This is my cordless glue gun that I always use. And I'm going to put a dab of glue right here in the center of my block, so that I can simply lay my raffia onto it. Of course, I'm being careful not to get my fingers glued on, because that hurts like a mofo. Okay, so here we go, just like this, and then I'm going to glue my little embellishment piece on. I'm just going to put some hot glue on the back of it and put it smack dab in the center of the raffia. Then you can kind of mess with your raffia and cut it and all that kind of stuff. So here it is. So you can trim up his whiskers. Maybe they're a little long. You can kind of trim it up and make it however you want it. I'm just going to leave it like this because that's kind of cute. Simply took a paintbrush with a smaller end. It's not too small, but you know. And then I dip it in my black paint. It's just black apple barrel paint. And then I just dab it right here and make it a little circle. Just like that. You might want it a little bigger than that. Kind of make it whatever size you want. That's all I do is just use the back of this paintbrush. And you just kind of swirl it around with the back to make your bunny. Just mess with it. You know, your circle's not going to be perfect. They're probably not going to be totally even. Don't be getting all stressed out about the minor details here, people. Okay, so here we go. He's got two little eyes now. So now he needs his ears and his bow, or her ears and her bow, okay? So we got it like this. And if I might mess with my eyes later. I try not to think about it too much while I'm doing it because you'll get stressed out. So here's the deal. I'm going to do the ears first. This is my bigger bunny, so I'm going to use my bigger ears. Now I want y'all to pay attention. This is not hard to do, but this is how you do your ears. You're going to take this piece that we already did, and then you are going to do it together at the bottom. That's what I'm going to call scrunch it together at the bottom, okay? So we're going to scrunch it together, and then we are simply going to stick it on our bunny. We're going to glue it right here. So it's going to kind of be laying down and glued right here like this, okay? So I'm going to take my hot glue gun, and I'm just going to put plenty of hot glue on there, and I pray that I don't burn my hand. And then I'm going to get it to stay right here, and I'm going to do the same exact thing for my other ear. And I'm doing it towards the front of my bunny, because you don't want his eyes way back here. His ears way back here. I accidentally did one like that. He was funky looking. I threw him away. He did not look good. But I put him way back here on accident, so you definitely want to come towards the front of your... So since this has wire in them, they're very easy to bend. So they're perfect. So then you're going to take this, you're going to do the same exact thing, and you're going to set that on here just like this. Put some more. So you're going to put your bow right in front of this, and then you're not even going to see all the imperfections of how we've got these laid on there. You're not even going to be able to tell it all. Okay, so they look like this right now, and then we're going to add our bow to the front just like this, and then you're not even going to be able to see this actual bunny. I've never seen anybody make it. I'm just saying that I know there's a ton of variations of wood block bunnies everywhere. People have been making them forever. So I simply looked at the blocks, decided how I want to do my own, and I just took my own ideas and made it my own. So that's what you need to do. You know, if you don't like something I did, then make it your own, and it'll be beautiful and it'll be totally yours. So we made this bunny like this. You can add a little button up here if you want to, or you can leave it, like you can add a button up here to the top of his, trying to make it where you can see it, to the middle of his bow if you want to, or you can just leave it just like this. For right now, I'm just going to leave it like this. Okay, so here's the little bunny wood block. So I'm going to do the same exact process I just did. Y'all can use pom-poms for the nose. You can use anything you want to for the nose. They're all different. So this one is the one we just now did. So he's really cute with his little raffia, whatever that is, nose, whiskers, whatever. So this is how we start. We put his little whiskers on here. We just throw some raffia on with some hot glue. We're going to take our little embellishment. It's the same embellishment that we just did for the big one, except it's the small one. So we're going to glue it on there in the middle, smack dab in the middle. We can kind of fluff our raffia out a little bit, kind of make it kind of whimsy looking. I don't put mouths on mine, no. So it's like this. Then we're going to do our eyes, where we just take the back of this paintbrush, dab it in your black paint, and make little circles for the eyes. Kind of twirl it around till you get an eye the way you want it. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be cute and it's going to be all yours. You can even add little eyelashes if you want to. I'm not going to get too crazy over here in case I do something wacky and mess it all up, but you can if you want to. And then for the back, I told you I forgot my cotton ball, but all you're going to do is put a little cotton ball on the back for his tail. That's all. You can use buttons for the nose. This is not a button. It's just a little embellishment. So we've got his eyes. Now all we need to do is take his ears and do exactly what we just did. We're going to do it together like this. He's got a little bitty ears because he's a little bitty bunny. I wonder if they're too little. Nah, I think, well, I don't know. I think I need to make some bigger ears. So we got two little bunny ears. So we're going to do this. We're going to do them together. This is better. Okay, it's called gathering, Charlotte said. I must have been saying it wrong. Okay, so we're going to scrunch them together at the bottom, just like this. We're going to glue them on. Listen, I don't know a lot of technical terms. I just craft. I have fun. I called something that was rickrack squiggly earlier, so, you know. Get this on here like this. We just glue it. I don't want to do one cut because I do different size ears. So I did longer ears on him. You could have definitely put those two together and done one cut, but it took me maybe an extra 2 seconds, so it wasn't a big deal to do this. And I didn't do the others the same size. Okay, so then we're going to do this. Okay, here's our ears, and they look like this. It's like, you know, doesn't look that good, so you're going to be like, But when you got your raffia bow that we made earlier, you literally just stick it square in the center, and you're not going to be able to tell that, okay? That's what you do. We're just going to spread us some hot glue right here so we can put our bow on there. Now I'm trying to do this too where y'all can see, oopsie, they're done. So you can go back and tweak them. These are my Farmhouse bunnies. So we've got a big one and a little one, just like that, little raffia bows. Literally, there's like no money involved in these at all. These were free wood blocks. I've had the raffia, I've got raffia coming out my bahukas, and I've got this jumbo roll of burlap that I've had forever. So anyway, well, here you go. Thank you very much. I will show y'all a still picture of these staged in my house like I always do. And I appreciate y'all watching. I appreciate y'all bearing with me with my Rudolph nose and my wild hair and my cracking voice and me saying the wrong names like I always do. So y'all are awesome.